Welcome to Music Today. This is Keitaro Harada. The orchestra world is facing a challenge of gathering together on stage to perform for our audience. As we patiently wait for the day that we can all come back together like before, I wanted to create a place where we can gather together online in real time to relax and enjoy music. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me at Music Today. The inspiration for this show came recently when I watched a live rebroadcast of a concert I did with Tokyo Symphony. The platform was online and allowed viewers in real time to comment, and I also joined to comment and interact with the audience too. That experience was probably one of the first times I've ever conversed and talked about my performance with hundreds of people while watching myself. So being able to interact with the audience and share my thoughts about this particular music was very engaging and fun. Therefore, the concept of Music Today is to bring in an artist each episode and have a conversation with the artist about a particular music, which we will all watch and listen together. The live component part is very important because I encourage all of you to comment and ask questions to us. Music Today is a bilingual show of English and Japanese. The show that broadcasts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be in English, and the show that broadcasts during your morning time, which is 9 p.m. in Japan, will be in Japanese. You're more than welcome to watch Japanese shows too. Without further ado, I'd like to bring in our guest for tonight. Since I cannot hear you applaud, please do me a huge favor and comment with a clapping emoji, or you can write clap, clap, clap. That way we know that you are commenting. So, please welcome our special guest, Sinisa Ciric. Hi, Sinisa. Hi. Thanks for joining the show.
I see you unmuted your mic, but for whatever reason, I can't hear you.
I can hear you just fine.
So,
and you can hear me. So.
Let me try. I don't know what's happening.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Can you not hear me?
I can't hear you. I see your. It just stopped suddenly. I don't know what it is. I mean, everything was fine, and then it just suddenly stopped.
Let's see. Say something. Can you hear me? No? Is your volume down? Let's see. Well, sorry guys about this. Let me see. Let me see. Oh wow, Sinisa. Let's see. Is everyone out there? Would you help us by commenting? Oh, thank you, Robin Beauchamp. See, I can hear both of you.
Okay, so we'll go like this.
Okay. But
I can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect.
with all the trials we had, it just happened.
Well, thank you everyone so much for your patience, and let me take a moment to introduce Sinisa for a moment. Sinisa Ciric is a wonderful violinist. He is a concert master for the Savannah Philharmonic, which I am the music and artistic director. I was just appointed last year, and I start full on this particular season. And my first encounter with Sinisa was last year in April when I did my audition concert with guest artist Marcus Roberts. And I feel that I've been able to click with Sinisa right from the get-go, be honest with him about the musical instincts that I have. And Sinisa is such a wonderful leader. So I'm very excited to have him on the show for my first English show. And since January of 2016, Sinisha's been the director of Strings Conservatory Program at Savannah Classical Academy. So we'll talk a little bit about that later on. But I want to first start the show with the music that we're talking about today, which is the Sevdah Tango. Would you tell us a little bit about this music, Sinisha?
Yes, so this is music that I've been playing with three of my really good friends in ensemble that is called Balkan Quartet. And all four of us were graduate students at the University of Georgia. And we started this back in, I think, was 2007 or 8. And it was just, something we all loved and type of music that we grew up with. And we had some friends that were writing music based on tunes from Balkans and from Eastern Europe. And we actually started playing this just for fun. And it just happens that, a couple of months later, we got a call from Piccolo Spoleto in Charleston to play there. And it was kind of stroke of luck. But we were so happy that before this even was off the ground, we got a chance to play in the major festival. And we had a great success there and then kept playing. And this piece, I believe, was on the program even back then. And we've been playing it for a long time. And this is a friend of ours that is a violinist in Radio Symphony in Ljubljana in Slovenia. But I played with him back home in Serbia in opera. And we know each other for a long time. And he's been writing this type of music for quite some time now. And we asked him if he could lend us his piece, Sevdah Tango, that I heard once before we actually got to play it. And I was really mesmerized and in awe. And I hope he might, be able to join us in the program. I told him today that we'll be talking about his piece, but I don't know if the time difference would allow that. It's about 3 a.m. there now. So, but yeah,
I did a little bit of research, and I wasn't, because when I looked at the title of the music, Sevdah Tango, I didn't know what Sevdah meant. So would you share us what Sevdah means?
So in our concerts, we usually speak about each piece. We don't write the program notes. We would give people just a list of pieces, but instead of letting them bury their heads down in the program and reading, we like to interact with them and actually encourage them to get involved. So I've been saying this story a lot of times. Sevdah is actually an emotional state. Sevdalinka, the word that is actually Sevdah is derived or was used to describe the type of the song is, as Daniela just chimed in as our violist from the quartet, is about very deep emotional state of mind and soul where you are enjoying music so much, surrounded with friends. It's usually in an informal setting like a restaurant. Some alcohol might be involved. But it's definitely a moment where you letting your emotions kind of overwhelm you and take you, and you're not fighting that. You're just letting that melancholy, pathos, or all that kind of sadness or deep, feelings that you have for something, longing, all sorts of things. You let that overwhelm you, and it's kind of good for your body from time to time to live through that state of mind and body and soul, because it's just very liberating. And I think we all in that part of the world, we all grew up, being surrounded with such occasions. I've
I
I've
see.
seen my dad, my friends, everybody kind of get very very emotional when we go to could start as just a an ordinary night, and you have a
Hmm.
nice dinner, and and then you put some music on, or you play some music, whoever knows, and to play and sing. And this is kind of starting to warm up your senses and everything. And then at one point you kind of let go, and you let everything kind of come to you. So Milos Simic is the composer of this piece, and he tried to mix two worlds in this whole piece, where he tried to make that kind of feeling and channel it through tango, as
I
the
see.
title would suggest.
I see.
But that was the idea, and I think he was very successful, because every time we played this piece, people had a great reaction to it. They were expecting maybe something else, but it's a very very cool piece.
Excellent. My dear friend Darko, Maestro
Yes.
Darko Butoric, says it is a Bosnian equivalent of blues. Before we play the music, would you introduce members of your quartet, Sinisa?
Yes, Mirna Dinovic is playing the second violin. Daniela Gualdi is playing viola, and Martin Georgiev is playing cello.
Fantastic. And while we play the music, the concept of this show is that we comment throughout, what's going on during the music. So I'm not going to mute our mics. So if you want to comment throughout the music, that's great. And then those of you who are watching, please, say hi to us. Or I think we have one of your members.
Yes. Hi, Mirna.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, let's get this music started and enjoy.
Daniela is here.
Where is this concert hall?
This is actually in Atlanta. It's a former Georgia Perimeter College. We were in residence there for 3 years, and we played quite a few concerts there. This is about 10 years ago. Exactly, that's what I wanted to say. That's some awesome viola playing there. This tune is kind of now turning into something warming up to get into the and this is one of
Sinisa, you look so different.
I look totally different. 10 years, man. This is his take on one Bosnian tune that he uses, a little episode there. Yeah, we were so young. Yeah, I still had no gray hair, man. And here we go. Seamless. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. There's some drama here.
The tango aspect is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great piece, and I think this is one of the maybe, you know, our early takes on it. I think more we played it, it was turning into quite a different experience. Yeah, it's actually a good playing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It has an unexpected ending. It's Nirvana in B major.
Bravo!
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I want to put some
Thank you.
clapping emojis. There we go.
Thank you.
Well,
Yes, this piece
ending
is
is
on our
the ending is very, very interesting. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, he I mean, when we played it first time, we kind of played it through. We were also kind of surprised, but you know, I think it made more and more sense as we were playing this piece more. Um, and I think we changed some timing, and it started, you know, like any other piece that you play many times, you know, it starts morphing, and it starts changing, and you're taking some you know, twists and turns and some risks that you wouldn't take in the early performances. And then, you know, by the time we probably played that, I don't know how many times, but I'd say at least 50, if not
Mm-hmm.
more. And I think, you know, this piece is in our CD as well, and it definitely over and over has the same impact on all four of us. And you know, I think that ending definitely sums up the whole thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of get to that peaceful state of, you know, mind, where after all the turmoil and all drama and all the passion and fire and all that kind of stuff, you just kind of, you know, let go, and it's just peaceful. And you know, as I said, it's Nirvana in B major, and just that the color of that key is, you know, quite different than what you'd expect. It's kind of very, I don't know, it's interesting. It's very bright to me, to
Mm-hmm.
my ear, but you know, it just, I can't really explain, you know, in words. You know, I know this is the piece where I'm actually not improvising. A lot of pieces that we are playing have sections where I kind of take over and I improvise in the style of music. But this one is played through. We never tried to take the liberty and improvise, because it was so well written that there was no no need to intervene at all. You just kind of played through, because for some pieces that were written for us, composers were literally tell us, okay, this is the spot where you can just go with whatever you want, because that music actually has that component. It's almost like jazz, and every piece that you play there, almost every piece has a moment where you could take a turn and have a section on the same chordal progression as the song itself, usually a chorus that you would improvise on, and that's where you kind of show off a little bit your skills, and like every other improvisation segment. So but this one just never ever asked for any kind of output more than what was actually written in music.
Does Milos have this in a full orchestra arrangement also, or is it just a quartet?
I think it's I actually can't tell, because I know that he's been writing a lot of stuff from his quartet opus and arranging it for the orchestra. Especially Ljubljana asked him several times to do that, so I can actually ask him later on if he has one, because it would be a great addition to eclectic program,
totally
music, because it is unusual, definitely unusual, not something you're used to hearing. And it kind of dives into that whole Balkan area, where composers like Enescu and Romanian origins, Hungarian style, of course, Greek, Bulgarian. I mean, that area there is absolutely one of the richest places when it comes to music, and it's so intertwined, and it's like connected, but same but different.
Wonderful. It would be lovely to play this piece with our orchestra in Savannah Philharmonic. I wonder if Danny's gonna not want to play the violin part and go for the viola part, but we'll have to.
Maybe
she'll have to fight for that viola solo with our viola section.
I could see this piece also, as a quartet with orchestra. That could also be something, to think about how it would be put together. But I think it would sound awesome as an orchestral piece. That's for sure.
Great. Tell us a little bit about the Strings Conservatory program at Savannah Classical Academy.
Okay, so that's the second reason I actually moved to Savannah. I lived in Atlanta for years, and about 5 years ago, through the Philharmonic, I got in touch with some people that were building an amazing school in Savannah Classical Academy. It's a charter school. It's located on East Anderson Street, and they asked me if I would be interested in starting a string program there, because the school just been basically rebuilt, and they've been about a year and a half in session, and they wanted to add to their program. So we started from scratch. They had an initial donation, and they bought some instruments, because the whole idea about the program was to provide everything needed for instruction. So they wanted to build the inventory of instruments, where every kid who signs up for strings would get an instrument free of charge to use it. And we, managed to in the last 4 years to build that inventory to about 90 instruments, violins, violas, cellos, basses. So every student that signs up for strings gets an instrument to play. And I think we were the only one, definitely in the Chatham County. Last year we went even further and asked every sixth, seventh, and eighth grader, literally the entire middle school, to take at least a semester of orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
We just made it a mandatory class. It was in their schedule instead of general music. And I can't tell you how many kids told me during the year that they would never sign up otherwise. It would never be on their radar. But just the opportunity to play an instrument and for instrument to be in their hands, so they could actually try it. So it was not just a presentation in school where they were just looking at someone who came, played for them, and told them about instruments, but the actual physical connection to the instrument gave them an opportunity to really get into this. And I have so many stories that this show would not be enough to tell you how many times I've been touched by comments and by things that my students told me, and then the changes that I was noticing on students that I've been teaching for 3 months would be enough to start seeing the shift, and a mindset that was absolutely not there, not because they did not have it. No, it's just because the opportunity was given. And I'm so proud on what's been accomplished and how many kids we touched with music through this program for the last 4 years. I think I had probably over 300 kids that went through the program.
It's wonderful. And you took them to Chicago recently, which was a wonderful trip to see the violin maker, and you're creating opportunities for students at the school that they never had before. And I wanted to share to our viewers today a little clip of Sinisa and how much of an amazing and fun and creative teacher he is, that if I was a student, if I was the age of those children in the program, I would want to play a string instrument taught by Sinisa. So here is a little excerpt. Let's see. Whoop. There we go.
Oh.
Sorry.
It was a fun experiment.
It's fantastic.
I wanted to prove myself I can play a little bit of cello.
You did very, very well.
Yeah,
it's great. Oh, fantastic. Well, I wanted to say there has been so many comments, and it's, I'm controlling all the comments and the streaming at the same time. So I'm trying to do like 5 different things at once, but there has been, it's been great to have so many people join us today, watching this show and commenting. And I really, really, heartfelt thank you to Sinisha, who became the sort of my guinea pig guest for the show #1.
Always, man. Always. We're
But
there for each other.
Yeah, definitely. But we should definitely do another session sometime, just talking about the conservatory program, and then maybe share some videos of their performances. So I hope that we get to do that.
We have some. Yeah, absolutely. We have some, and I'll have to dig my files out, but we can definitely do that.
Great. So I have I have a little surprise for anyone who has had a birthday recently at a stay home and not been able to celebrate their birthday. I just wanted to do a little happy birthday to everyone. So of course by Sinisha. If it will play. There we go.
Most recently to my wife. Awesome. It could be a ringtone.
Thank you. Well, Tanisha, thank you so much for being guest #1 and sharing your music, and can't wait to continue collaborating with you and doing fun projects with you at Savannah Philharmonic.
Absolutely. Likewise. And thank you for this invitation. I know this is thing that everybody are trying now to dive in and reach their audiences and people that enjoy music and this easy chats about music, and to get to know us much more intimate than just seeing us from stage. So I really appreciate everything that you've been doing for the Philharmonic, and you are a master of this. I'm learning as I go.
I could tell you're really looking. You're sort of analyzing this whole session, trying to see how you can utilize that. Give it like 2 days. I know you're gonna have your own show. I could see it happening. Well, anyways, everyone, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録、いいね、そしてこのビデオをぜひシェアしてください。